Good morning, good morning. Hello, 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 good people. I am Dr. Hollie Kelly, and this is Dr. Kelly's perspective for November 6th, 2017. We are today at 55 days and counting before the year ends. 55 days and counting. That is a lot of time to get things done, to improve things, to strengthen things, to make things better, more effective, more efficient. That's a lot of time, 55 days. Hello, Margaret. And so, like most of our nation and the world, I'm looking at something new last night, or yesterday rather, with the shooting in church and all those lives lost. And once again, and do the same, Margaret. Once again, I find myself asking, what can we do? When is this going to stop? This is getting crazy. Hello, Jeannie. Hello, Jeannie. So over and over and over again, every time one of these things happen, the question remains the same. Oh my goodness, this is happening again. When will this stop? And what I have determined is that I will not live my life. Good morning, Rachel. I refuse to live my life in fear and ducking and walking through life in fear. Well, I'm going to be nice to him because he looks like he's crazy and he might do something to me, or she looks, okay, I'm just not going to operate in an MO of fear. And so the question always comes back to me, okay, well, Hollie, what can you do about it? The antidote to feeling overwhelmed, this is Hollie's antidote. The antidote to feeling overwhelmed and just, melting down into a fetal position and then being stuck doing nothing is to answer the question, okay, well, what can you do? What can I do? What platform do I have, and how can I use it to help, to assist, to stop the madness, to not feel as if, hey, Alicia, to not feel as if I'm just overwhelmed and, oh my goodness, I can't take it. This is happening again. That's not a good place for me. It's probably not a good place for anybody, but I do not operate well in a feeling, in a space of being overwhelmed. So I prevent that by immediately asking the question, okay, Hollie, for right now, that is what it is. What can you do? And so again, I'm going to go back to the people who do these heinous acts. They belong in some kind of system. They are within a family system. They are within a community system. They're in an educational system with schools. They're on sports teams. They are within a system, and we have to become aware. We've got to know people well enough to know when that's not their norm. When I do leadership trainings, I tell the supervisors and leadership, even in military circles, you got to know who you're working with so well. Hey, Baron Taylor, you've got to know who you're working with so well to know when something is off. Okay. Now, yeah, you're a little crazy all the time, but that's not how he operates. That's not how she operates. Hey, Miss Stephanie, we have got to be in an awareness. Can't just walk through life tiptoeing and, clueless to what is going on to us. Good morning, Joseph, or it's probably your afternoon. Hey, Dr. Stephanie. So, again, the question has to come around to what can you do? Do you know your people? Do you know your family? Do you know those associates well enough to know when something is off? That's not the way they operate. Okay, so because no one's out here on an island, we are within systems. Like I said, we're within families, or we're surrounded by coworkers or school members. And so one thing I know is that people are banking on, hey, Miss Donita, people are banking on silence. For years, I worked with sexual assault victims and some domestic violence victims. And those who perpetrate those crimes, those assaults, even sexual harassment, they bank on silence from those who have been victimized and from everybody around it seeing things. They bank on silence. Okay, that's in my lane. If I see something, I can do something about that. I refuse to remain helpless and silenced and overwhelmed. Okay, so, I'm gonna make sure those within my circle know that they are cared for, cared about, and loved. That's one thing I can do. Don't poo-poo that away. Do you recognize how many people walk through this life? You're passing them daily on the streets, in the classrooms, in your workspaces. We are passing them by daily. Silence is killing us. You're so right, Danita. Okay, we're passing by people every day, and we don't know that they are losing it. They haven't even had someone touch them. They don't know that people care about them. They think they're out here on their own, doing their own thing because nobody cares about me. So if that is not your truth regarding the people who are surrounding you, regarding the people who are in your circle, hey, Miss Laura Brown, then we're responsible for that. I'm not saying take the whole burden of how, their whole emotional state, but I am responsible for opening my mouth and making sure they know where I stand. No one in my circle should doubt if I care about them, if I love them, if I value them, if they're important to me. That's an indictment on me that they don't know. And so, so yes, we can look at gun control. Absolutely. Yes, we need to fix that up. We can look at the curriculums within our educational system and the reform that needs to be taking place. Yes, absolutely. We can look at mental health reform and things that need to be done and criminal justice reform. I say yes, yes, yes to all of that. But Hollie does not have that national platform at this point. At this point. That's not my platform. So I'm going to wind that thing back to what is my responsibility. What can I do? Hey, Eric Reed, and I'll take that. What is my responsibility and how can I contribute to this? So I say yes to all that. But in the meantime, because right now, I don't know of any legislation that is getting ready to be signed and it's going to be effective 7 November. So in the meantime, I have a role to play in this. I have a responsibility to play in this. Let me just throw out there, so do you. So do you, because none of us live on an island. We're surrounded by a community of people. We're surrounded by a village that has villagers in them. And so our babies need to know that they are loved, that they are heard, that we are listening to them, that we're trying to understand them. Even if we don't understand, we can make an attempt to try to listen and try to understand. I'm convinced that people who go out and do these heinous crimes and mass murders and rapes and sexual assaults some of that stuff can be prevented. A majority of it can be prevented. So what can you do? What is in your realm of responsibility? Do those who are around you know that that they care? One handshake connected to one handshake to one to one to one. Thank you, Eric. Okay? So there's no need to get overwhelmed. There's no need to get overwhelmed by, oh my goodness, it's happening again. Okay, roll that thing back, rewind it, and start in your sphere. Start with those who are surrounding you. I'm not Pollyanna. So, just hug everybody and it'll be okay. I don't live in that world. But I do know that how we portray our love, how we portray our value of other people, how we portray and demonstrate and display the value that people it matters. I know that it matters. Okay, us versus them, yeah. Listen, we're all in this boat together. When your end starts to sink, it's only a matter of time before I'm in the water with you. We are in this boat together, and we better all start rowing together in the same direction. It might be different from different perspectives, different experiences level, but we have got to recognize we're in the same boat. Okay. Yeah, you're right. We can't sinking half the ship. We're all going down, or we're all going to survive. I'm going to vote for the survival and thriving. Okay, I'm going to get out of here today. my challenge to you is don't let this just slip by one more time and say, oh my goodness, that is so sad. And then you go off. Ask and answer your question, or ask and answer my question that I'm giving to you. What can you do? What can you do today in your sphere? Don't try to jump on a platform that doesn't belong to you. We all have our platforms. What can you do from the platform that you've been given today? Okay. Until then, take real good care of yourselves and those in your circle.